day one. It's the 2018 CCCAA Softball Championships. It's the defending state champs from a year ago, 48-0. Cypress College taking on Sierra. Join myself, Mike Zepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Jesse Steinberg. Coming up at 7 p.m. Remember, everyone, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. That's our website. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You can catch this broadcast on the go, watch it live. You can also view the archive copies of all the games that we broadcast throughout the weekend. And it's game 4 due up here. The nightcap, Sierra and Cypress, the defending state champs. And in the circle for the Wolverines, Amarissa Medina. Medina on the season, 25-3. 175 in the third innings pitch with a 1.28 ERA, and by all accounts, possibly the best pitcher out of the North. And, well, she'll have her hands full here with the Cypress lineup. They are loaded.
They're looking to go back-to-back with state champions and keep going strong.
Yeah, Sydney McCollum will lead things off here for the Chargers.
Sydney's actually the only returning starter off last year's championship team.
It'll be McCollum, Infinity Laufu, and Gabrielle Munoz, first 3 up. Swing and a miss from McCollum, and she's in a quick 0-2 hole. Just underway here. Game 4 of the day, 3 in the books. Mount Sac took the opening game, and then El Camino upsets the top-ranked team in the state, San Mateo, in game 2. And Palomar all over San Joaquin Delta, 8-0 in a mercy rule ending. It sees them through to the winner's bracket. And winner of this one will get that very impressive Palomar team, which we just saw.
I'm sure neither coach is actually looking forward to that game right now.
I have to believe you're exactly right on that, but you know, it's why you come to play here. You play to win the game, and we're here to win a championship for any team.
Yep.
The Fateful 8 in the 3C2A for 2018. New format this year, as we've alluded to throughout the day. Instead of the Final 4, it's the Final 8 in California. It's McCollum right off the bat. Off speed from Medina. Had a chance to have Maggie White from College of the Redwoods on earlier on color commentating duties, and she's very familiar with Amarissa. Calls her the Funky Cold Medina in reference to the 80s Tone Loc song. Some funky off-speed stuff right there, resulting in the first K of the day, and Infinity Laufau is hit by the pitch on the very next one. So perhaps some early jitters here from Medina.
I'm sure she's still trying to settle in while the lights slowly turn on her.
Coach, what kind of an effect can the lights have here as they're turned on as the sun sets?
The lights should balance out the sun setting, but depending upon how many games either of these teams have actually played at night, it can have an effect on them.
This is going to bring up Gabrielle Munoz with Laufau. Laufu, excuse me, at first. Munoz started off 0-1. Set the field for you here shortly for the Wolverines. That pitch outside, bit of a pitch out there. As Laufu, the designated player today, takes a lead. At first, it's Julia Cummings for the Wolverines. Lexi Delosier at second. Virgie Rebello at short. Hannah Slate at third. Selena Vallejos in left. Danielle Tochi in center. McKenna Anderson in right. Tony Whipke behind the dish. And in the circle, I'm Marissa Medina. Top of the first inning, 1 gone and 1 on. It's 2-1 on Gabrielle Munoz. That pitch fouled back, 2-2.
Medina seems to be attacking the hitters at least early, going right after him. She's not
shy early on.
No, she's not, trying to be too precise. She's just saying, here, try and hit this. And
yeah, good luck. So far, so good. Although did have the hit batter. Swing and a miss. Second K on the day for Amarissa Medina. So 2 down, top of the first. And here comes Kiani Puailoa. I feel like Puailoa was here last year as well.
She may have been, but according to
sophomore, Buena Park, Western.
Coach Pickler, the only starter off last year's team was
returning
McCollum.
starter. Yeah, that's right. Let's say McCollum had an unbelievable throw last year. I could be wrong on that. I'm going off of memory, not actual.
Unfortunately, I can't confirm nor deny that because I was not at last year's state championship. So,
Tuiloa takes ball 2. The 2-0 fouled back. Six games on the slate tomorrow. 4 here, 2 at Citrus.
Be a very long day for a couple teams.
How about the broadcasters? 2-1 fouled back again. 2-2 now. Medina looks to the dugout, has her sign. Wheels and deals, and this one popped up. No trouble at all for Julia Cummings. No hits, 1 hit by pitch, 1 left. No runs across. We enter the bottom of the first. No score. Game 4 of the day, the 2018 3C2A Softball Championships, live from Mount San Antonio College. To the bottom of the first innings, no score. Sierra now batting. The Alexi Delosier leading things off, followed by Vergi Rebello and Tony Whipke for the Wolverines. That one fouled off. The Wolverines coming in with an overall record 37-7, 2 seed from the north.
Delosier, a lefty slapper to start things up for the Wolverines.
Cypress, almost a mirror image in terms of what these teams did on the regular season, 37-7 as well. First place in the Orange Empire Conference, that ball high, 1-2. And the Wolverines, coached by Coach of the Year in Northern California, Darcy Brownell. Excuse me. 1-2, foul back, and Delosier stays alive. Robeo, switch hitter, on deck. That pitch outside, 2-2, just missing.
It's a close pitch to take.
Delosier Batting .408 on the season. 14 strikeouts, 6 walks, 24 RBIs. She's got some wheels. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Looks like Hope Davalos in the circle for Cypress. Going to go tit for tat here with Amarissa Medina. Set the field here for you for the Chargers. Vanessa Ayala in left, Tiana Harris in center, Kiana Puailoa in left, Destiny Lucero at third, Sydney McCollum at short, Jesse Gomez at second, Gabrielle Munoz at first, Kelly Ross. That one's going to get to the wall on an extra base hit. Just like that, Vergie Robeo in scoring position for the Wolverines. Taking that to the gap in left center. Right center, rather.
It was a nice hit right into the gap. Stayed on the pitch and drove it.
So here comes Tony Whipke. Whipke batting .384 on the season. Does have some pop. Leads the team in home runs on the season with 5. Hitting in the 3-hole, takes strike 1. Get to Hope Davalos' numbers here shortly. That one lifted to left, and it is gone. 6th home run on the season for Whipke. And the Wolverines strike first blood here in the bottom of the first.
She sat back on that pitch very nicely and drove it well over the left field fence, which is marked at 190.
Let's watch that one more time here. As that one is absolutely launched to left. Whipke gives that one quite the ride, and here comes Amarissa Medina. And Medina, best pitcher, possibly the best hitter on the team. 2nd in average on the team behind McKenna Anderson. And this one lifted to left. This one will fall just short as Medina gives that one a ride to the warning track. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first. Medina batting .421 on the season coming in. And
gave that ball a ride. Hope Davalos definitely isn't fooling anybody at the moment.
No, she's throwing a beach ball out there. Hannah Slate now batting, 3rd baseman. Kenna Anderson on deck. 2-0, courtesy of Tony Whipke, and a 2-run shot here in the bottom of the first. Sierra takes an early lead. That pitch in there for strike 1. Davalos on the season in 169 2/3 innings pitched. She allowed 5 home runs coming in, make that number 6 on the year. But Whipke takes her deep. That one chop foul, 1-2.
A little out in front on that pitch. Needs to be a little more patient, let the ball travel.
The 1-2 popped up. Gomez with a beat on it, and that will do it for the Wolverines, but they scratched 2 across, and by scratch, they clawed their way out with a home run courtesy of Tony Whipke. 2-0. Wolverines on top of the Chargers and the defending state champs. Stay tuned. Remember, everyone, you can watch this broadcast in its entirety on our SoCalCollegeSports.com YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. If you have any friends and family that would like to watch the broadcast, they can catch all of the action this week live, SoCal College Sports 1 on YouTube. And if you want to tweet at us, give us a shout Let us know how we're doing at SoCal College SPO on Twitter. We head to the top of the second. And the defending state champs already in a 2-0 hole. Well, they went 48-0 last season. And they are on the ropes early here. And you have to factor in that, with the likes of Amarissa Medina in the circle for Sierra, sporting a 1.28 ERA on the season, she might not need any more offense.
She might not if she stays in command and pitches the way she did in the first inning, where she, other than the hit batsman, had a fairly easy inning for her.
Yep. Kelly Ross, catcher. Up right now for the Chargers. It'll be Ross, Ayala, and Harris due up this inning. Mike Cepeda, Jesse Steinberg, Jeff Stoynoff with you on today's coverage. Matt Henson, Emery Johnson, Chase McIntyre, Jorge Cepeda, the entire crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. With you this weekend through Championship Sunday. Of course, next week we'll also have the baseball finals up in Fresno. We are well traveled here, Jesse. Gotta get the mileage on that Prius.
And going to Fresno and back, you'll do that in a hurry.
Oh, for sure. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Medina takes something off of it and fools Ross. Her third K on the day.
The advantage of working ahead, you can change speeds and locations, and it works to your advantage.
Vanessa Ayala, the left fielder. We just saw one go over her head and left from Tony Whipke. You think she got to the plane and said, hey, nice shot? Probably not.
It's about all you can say when they travel that far.
That's true. Ayala started off 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Another off-speed beauty from Amarissa Medina.
She's keeping him off balance with her speed changes.
She sells it really well, and excellent placement with her pitches thus far. The 0-2 off speed, ringer up. Fourth K on the day for Amarissa Medina.
She's definitely giving Alicia Garcia from Palomar a run for her money in the strikeout count.
She really is. Coach, I want to talk to you about that. Sierra in the building, if you will, at the stadium, and watching that game. When you see a performance of that type of dominance, does that maybe fire up the competitive juices as a pitcher going into the next game and make you think that you want to top it?
Well, not so much top it, but you want to show that you belong here as well. And all of these players are obviously excellent players, otherwise their teams wouldn't be here.
Right.
And under excellent coaches, and great programs. So it's all their time to shine, and it just comes down to, who makes the least amount of mistakes.
0-1 delivery just a little outside. Working on Harris, Tiana, center fielder, for the Chargers. One swing and a miss. Is that the rise ball?
I'm not sure if it was a rise or just a slightly elevated fastball, but with the way she's throwing her change, it makes that fastball look even faster.
Yeah. Harris in a hole, 1-2. Medina looking for strikeout number 5, and that one fouled back.
He was on time with that, just a little out in front. Caught it on the way up in her swing, sent it straight back to the backstop.
The way she's dealing, you know, if there weren't any copyright issues, I'd start firing up the old Tone Loc song.
Have to pay those old mic drop fees.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing that. Not on our budget anyway. That one high, ball 2.
But Medina seems to be in command of all of her pitches. She seems to be putting them exactly where she's trying to.
In complete control right now is Amarissa Medina. Really, the only blip on the radar was the hit-by pitch.
Ooh, that looked very nice.
That pitch just missing. Can we see the replay on that there, Maddie? Bring it all the way back. All the way down. Too far. Forget it. Live shot. Live shot. Thanks, Matt. That one fouled back. I meant the slider. It needs to come up closer. See, we're working out all the kinks here on day one, so you know, it's all good. We'll be all primed for Championship Sunday when it comes.
Tiana Harris is up there battling.
She really is.
She's not giving in to Amarissa.
Wonder if she can sit down on an off-speed pitch and half up the score. Ooh, off-speed, a beauty. I think she knew it was coming, nothing she can do, and a little bit of a grin on Tiana Harris's face as she comes off. She's like, man, she got me. That'll do it for the Chargers in the top of the second, 2-0. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. McKenna Anderson, your 6-hole hitter, and she leads the team in batting average, batting from the left side, batting .423 on the season.
Tried to drop down a bunt to open the second inning, just missed it.
Probably swinging away here. I have to figure you're hitting .423. You're a little craftier than most. 0-1 swinging. Slap. And that's going to be out number 1 as Anderson can't get there in time. The throw beats her. As Lucero fires it over to first.
Actually had a player for me one year that hit over 600, and probably 90% of her hits were bunts.
Emily Smith now the batter here for the Wolverines, up 2-0. Looking to dispatch defending state champs from the winner's bracket. Davalos deals strike 1.
And actually right now in the winner's bracket you have all South teams.
All South.
So if Sierra were to hold on and win this game, they would be the sole representative from the North on the winner's side.
Coach Palomar looked like the best team today by far. The Mercy Rule win. That one lifted to center. Another home run on the day. This time, Emily Smith takes one out to center.
And very quickly, Cypress finds themselves down 3-0.
No doubt about it on that one, as Smith tattoos it 215-plus feet away. Daniela Toshi takes strike 1. Well, Davalos shows some pretty good speed out there, but the problem is not a lot of movement on that fastball.
No, it was just sitting there pretty flat and gave Smith a chance to catch it and send it a long ways.
Yeah. Nice reference. I've heard baking cookies out there and serving them up.
Yep. She went up to the plate with an idea to eat, and she enjoyed her meal very well.
She really did. Yeah, she enjoyed dessert. Davalos didn't enjoy serving it up. Not all that much. 3-0. The Wolverines showing off some power here. The fateful 8, live from Mount San Antonio College. Been a beautiful day for softball. 1-2 off speed. That's going to stay fair. That'll be extra bases for Toshi. Getting to the wall. It's a double. I believe all the hits today for the Wolverines, 4 on the board so far, have been for extra bases. 2 doubles, 2 bombs. And the Wolverines trying to make a statement here in the nightcap.
They are trying to stake their claim for another state title in their school's history.
Yeah, they have a few. So bring up my notes. Swing and a miss from Julia Cummings.
Darcy Brownell, the NorCal Coach of the Year in her 19th season at Sierra.
Yeah.
She's been here a few times.
Not her first rodeo. That pitch outside. Toshi takes a bit of a lead, but goes back to second.
And also on a side note, she's also the president of our State Coaches Association for fast pitch softball. Be a nice way to end your reign as the president.
Yeah. Nearly doubling up Toshi as Cummings lines one hard over to Lucero. Great reaction time there. Is that L5 or L6, Coach?
I'm sorry?
L5 or L6?
That was an L5.
L5, okay, that was third. Here comes Delosier. Slapping swing. Fouled back.
Sierra back up to the top of their lineup in the bottom of the second.
Yep. Two gone here. Bottom of the second. Delosier takes another one. Strike 2.
Delosier, a typical lefty slapper, a lot of speed. Just trying to put the ball in play and use her feet to get her to first base.
That one fouled off. Delosier on the season. 11 stolen bases. That's good for second on the team. McKenna Anderson with 28 stolen bases this year for the Wolverines. The 0-2 fouled off.
Battling up there, staying alive, wasting pitches she doesn't like, and waiting for Davalos to give her something that she can drive somewhere.
Davalos wheels and deals off speed. McCollum, beautiful play to end the inning. Sydney showing off the range and the gun, but the Wolverines on a blast.
By Smith.
Yeah, Emily Smith. I was looking for the name. Extend their lead 3-0. We head to the third. Back in a moment here on SoCal College Sports. Top of the third, 3-0 Sierra on top of Cypress. Destiny and Lucero will lead things off here this inning, and much of the same from Amarissa Medina, inducing another swing and a miss, strike one.
The ball seems to have good movement on it tonight.
Only one batter has reached base, courtesy of a hit by pitch that was Laufu. Another swing and a miss. Quick hole for Lucero, 0-2. Back at it again tomorrow. We talked about 6 games on the slate, 2 at Citrus, 4 here at Mount Sac. Simultaneous broadcasts at 11 and 1:30.
You'll have the losers bracket games going on at Citrus and the winners bracket games going on here, with the winners of the games at Citrus advancing back here to play the losers of the 2 morning games here. So should be make for a very interesting day softball-wise.
And if you couldn't follow that verbally, they do have a roadmap of the state bracket. That one is laced
and
for
gone.
a home run. Wow. Destiny Lucero takes Amarissa Medina deep. A laser shot to left. And the Chargers are on the board. Well, coming in, Medina, for all of her accolades and numbers on the season, 1.28 ERA. Had allowed 7 home runs on the season, number 8 right there. And Lucero crushes it to left. That's just one that stayed up. Lucero sat down, turned on it in a hurry. I thought that was going to get to the wall, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
Yep, it kept carrying. Didn't look like it was going to go out, and in the last minute kind of jumped up over the fence. Hit something right behind the fence and came right back. That was how hard she hit it.
That's exactly right. Jesse Gomez now batting. Gomez and then McCollum. So as Cypress finds out, Amarissa Medina is human.
Yep, she is, but every pitcher is. I mean, they make a mistake, they get it up in the zone. That's hitter jumps on it, it will go a long ways.
Well, Alicia Garcia would beg to differ. She was pretty perfect earlier today. Not a perfect game, but a no-hitter. Mercy shutout of San Joaquin Delta, swing and a miss on the 1-1, 1-2 now.
But in Garcia's accolades, I guess you could say, she didn't miss with too many pitches.
No, she did not.
If they swung at it, they were generally her pitch, not the hitter's pitch.
Yeah. Gomez in a 1-2 hole. Swing and a miss again. I believe that is the 6th strikeout on the day for Amarissa Medina.
She's wheeling and dealing. She's getting ahead of hitters and putting them away. She's not letting them hang around if she has anything to say about it. And back around to the top of the order for Cypress.
Yeah, Sydney McCollum. Now your batter, 1 gone here. 1 across, courtesy of Destiny Lucero. McCollum hacking at the first pitch, fouls it back, 0-1.
Against someone like Medina, you got to jump early, because if you watch too many of her pitches, you give her the advantage.
Yeah. The 0-1 off speed, and that's a beauty. Strike 2.
And there's not much you can do with that as a hitter. It's, you know, she throws it so well and disguises it.
Yeah. It becomes a guessing game, and usually she has you guessing wrong. McCollum in an 0-2 hole. Outside.
She threw the changeup straight over the middle and then took her next pitch outside to get the hitter thinking about, okay, where's the next pitching coming at her now?
I believe McCollum struck out to open things up.
She did.
And did that hit McCollum?
No, just went off the catcher's glove.
There you go. 2-2 now. How impressive is that for Amarissa Medina on the season? McCollum had only struck out coming in 2 times.
And she froze her on a pitch.
Absolutely, just completely fooled Sydney McCollum. McCollum batting .450 on the year. That one in the dirt. Good eye there from Sydney. And that fills it up after falling behind 0-2. Such a weapon at the top of the order for the Chargers. And Brad Pickler, she walks 13 times, only 2 strikeouts, 12 stolen bags. Second only to Vanessa Ayala. That one fouled off. Ayala with 15 out of play.
McCollum's been much more aggressive in this at bat. First time up, she kind of seemed a little
passive.
Yeah, a little shocked at what Medina was throwing her, and now she seems to have made some adjustments and is attacking.
Trying to turn the tide here on Amarissa Medina. But she's been pretty good thus far, working on a one-hitter. But she walks McCollum. McCollum, her 14th walk on the season, and look for her to take an extra bag here. Infinity Laufu, now your batter. Laufu batting .471. If memory serves, she also struck out.
No, she got hit by a pitch.
You're right. I'm sorry.
She was the one batter to reach in the first inning.
Well, memory didn't serve. 0-1 on Laufu. That one fouled back, and Laufu in a quick 0-2 hole.
She didn't see many pitches from Medina in the first inning. She got hit with the first pitch that she saw, and might give Medina a little bit of an advantage because she hasn't had a chance to realize what she has to make adjustments to yet.
Right. Well, popular 0-2 pitch so far for Medina has been the change right down the pipe. You maybe sit down on one here if you're a Laufu. Outside.
Now I would actually expect a change coming.
Medina readies the 1-2. Here it comes. There it goes.
That's
Laufu is absolutely crushing it. Her 7th home run on the year. That'll tie it up at 3-all. Infinity Laufu sent that to infinity and beyond.
She did. She crushed that pitch.
Crushes the 1-2 offering from Medina. That might have cleared 250, Coach. Wow.
That was a long shot, and it was long enough it brought Darcy Brunel out to see Amarissa Medina.
9th home run allowed on the season, 2nd this inning. Didn't look like there were a lot of chinks in the armor for Amarissa, but never underestimate the heart of a champion. The Chargers have made an adjustment here in the top of the 3rd and have tied it up 3-0.
Cypress is not interested in going into the loser's bracket.
No, they are not. They understand the type of uphill climb that is, especially in an 8-team double elimination format. You lose on day one, you know, the margin of error is none.
Yep. It becomes a very long climb, and unless you've got a very deep pitching staff, it gets even more difficult.
Well, it's basically 0-0 at this point, and the momentum all but in your favor. Swing and a miss from Gabrielle Munoz.
Question is, how's Medina going to react to it? Is she going to be able to get herself back to her happy place and go back to what she was doing, or is it going to rattle her and cause her to make mistakes from here on out?
21 home runs coming in as a team for the Chargers, make it 23. Now for one of the best pitchers in the state of Amarissa Medina. 1-1 in there, strike two. That pitch got her for looking.
Froze her with the changeup again.
Freezes her with the change. You're exactly right there, Coach. Let's see that one again here, Emery. See it one more time here on the replay. Sit down. Got her. So, Puailoa now the batter. Kiani, right fielder today for Cypress. Two gone, top of the third, three across, and that one is fair as it hits the bag, and Puailoa will reach on a single. 2-out single.
That one, she laced it right down the line, hit the bag, and bounced about 12 feet in the air. We're heading out to the outfield.
Hey, Coach, how big is that walk to McCollum, bringing up Laufu? McCollum down 0-2 in that at-bat, works it full, gets a walk, and a two-run shot ties it up. Just, it's the little things.
It is the little things, and you don't put someone away when you get ahead 0-2. It's, you know, that's why you want to get ahead, so you can do different things, and Medina just couldn't seem to put McCollum away. She kept battling and scrapping at the plate and came back to bite Sierra.
Kelly Ross, the catcher, now up for Cypress. She got Puailoa at first. Ross takes strike two. Seems a little frustrated.
Sure, having to stand 43 feet in front of Medina is probably not an enjoyable experience.
No, probably not. Medina wheels and deals outside. Bit of a pitch out there. Puailoa with 6 stolen bags on the year. The 1-2. And that one into left field. Is it going to get to the wall? It will. Puailoa on her horse. She's going to be waved home. 4-3. The defending state champs have taken control here in the top of the third. RBI double for Kelly Ross.
Kelly Ross looked frustrated on the earlier pitches, but sat back and drove that ball off the wall, one hop the left field fence.
Just an incredible adjustment there by Ross. It's a team, as a team, Coach, they bat .376 on the season.
Cypress has had a strong program for years. I mean, they had that 62-game winning streak that got snapped earlier this season and came back and still managed to make it into the state tournament.
Pitch in there for strike one.
A lot of teams who have that kind of streak get snapped kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
Cypress just picked it up the next day and got right back on it.
Vanessa Ayala now batting. Runner in scoring position. The 0-1. And, Coach, it's gotten a lot colder than it was about 30 minutes ago when Medina was dealing. Do you think the cold may be becoming a factor in terms of just the grip and the feeling of the ball?
Probably not. I mean, it hasn't gotten that cold. The wind's picked up a little bit. It might be affecting her pitches, but you would expect that more of the off-speed stuff than her fastball.
That pitch outside, 1-2.
But it has turned a lot colder than it was earlier today, and
it's gotten a lot more crisp.
Yeah.
In the last 20, 30 minutes. And as I say that, it's been about a 20, 30-minute top of the third inning for Cypress, and they've taken a 4-3 lead. Slow roller over to second. Delosier over to first in time for out number 3. But the Cypress bats come alive here in the top of the third. 4 across, 2 home runs. They leave one 4-3. The defending state champs on top of Sierra. We head to the bottom of the third.
Time to put.
We head to the bottom of the third, and right off the bat for Sierra, it's Robeo. Robeo 1 for 1 on the day with an extra base hit. A double, now a single to lead things off in the bottom half of the third. Cypress pours it on in the top of the third, take a 4-3 lead.
Robeo's telling Medina she'll help pick her up.
I got you.
Got right there and got on base for her.
Whipke launched one out earlier in the bottom of the first, 2-run shot. She's 1 for 1.
Well, this time she was up showing bunt on the first pitch.
They knew that wasn't going to happen. Whipke now with 6 home runs after that bomb that we just mentioned on the season. Behind 0-1, she lifts this one into right. And Toshi will collect it and call off. We'll check that. Tiana Harris will collect it, call off Puailoa for out number 1.
And here comes Medina up to hit.
Let's see if Medina can do herself some favors here. Solid at bat versus Hope Davalos. Davalos has had her struggles. 3 runs on 5 hits. 4 of those extra base hits.
Drops down a bunt, but goes foul.
Medina trying to advance to the runner. Robeo at first. Mike Cepeda, Jesse Steinberg, Jeff Stoynoff with you on today's coverage. Coach Steinberg in his first year at West LA College. Swing and a miss. The hit and run. They got her. Oh, wow. They're going to say they're going to say that Robeo got in under the tag. And do we have a replay on the main shot? That's unfortunate.
Looked like they had her dead to rights, but a good slide got her in underneath the tag.
Yeah, you know, I like how they've made an adjustment in the last few years. You know, a lot of times, especially old school, if the throw beats you, sometimes they anticipate the out, but they're really looking at runners, you know, sliding to beat the tag, get under a tag, and we see it right there as Robeo able to reach because the throw had her.
Yep. Well, it's kind of like the old baseball, you know, the in the neighborhood double play. Now, if you don't touch the bag, they don't give it to you.
Yeah. How about the arm from Kelly Ross?
It was a great throw down.
Medina takes strike 2. for Robeo, now in double digits on the season, her 10th stolen bag. Medina chops that foul.
And while pitching is still a major key in this game, as compared to the old days when basically you could have a pitcher and a catcher and that was all you needed to field your team.
Yeah.
With the changes.
Has it changed some, Coach?
It's changed a lot. Moving the pitching back 3 feet gave the hitters leveled out the field a little bit and gave them a much better chance.
Off speed from Davalos, takes a funky hop. That's a great job by Gomez making an adjustment. They let that ball go, and Robeo's going to be thrown out at home. An awkward double play, but Davalos will take it. They prevent another run from scoring to tie it up. Cypress will go into the top of the fourth with a 4-3 lead. We head to the top of the fourth, 4-3. Cypress on top of Sierra. You're watching SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of the 2018 3C2A Softball Championship live from Mount San Antonio College. Mike Cepeda, Jesse Steinberg, Emery Johnson with you on today's broadcast. And Emery, I hear you got something for us.
Yeah, Medina, starting pitcher here for Sierra College. Interesting enough, she started off the game in the first inning very well, and as you can see, the first two frames in the first and second inning were both spectacular examples of pitching. However, in the third inning, she ran into a little bit of trouble with the long balls that were hit off of her, and what I did pick up on was the fact that she was getting into counts and starting batters off 0-2, 2 strikes, and unfortunately was not able to put them away. And a lot of that has to do with the ineffective use of a breaking ball later in counts. And she was giving up both, if I'm not mistaken, both of those balls that were hit extremely hard were off fastball pitches in a non-fastball count. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust their pitching sequence later on in this game, and if she continues to pitch in this game, she's definitely going to have to make some changes, especially with 2 strikes.
And Coach, what would you attribute that adjustment to from Brad Pickler and company?
Well, I mean, they're probably looking for her to throw something, and when she's not getting her off speeds across, then she's got to come back with a fastball. And, you know, if she's getting them, they're sitting on it looking for that pitch, knowing that she's not going to come back with a fastball on 0-2, that she's going to try to fool them with something.
Medina induces Tiana Harris to pop up to her for out number 1. And here comes Destiny Lucero, and Lucero got Cypress on the board last inning with a solo shot.
Pitchers tend to sometimes get complacent, especially when they feel like they have a strong hold on a game. And you talk about those long innings having effects on pitchers, especially when they're sitting on the bench and getting a little bit cold. And a lot of times you can get a little bit greedy and think that you're going to be able to do a lot more with a fastball. I could say from experience at least, especially when you're in counts where you think that a fastball is going to be effective and you just leave it over the plate, that's when you get hurt and that's when damage usually occurs. And so most importantly here, it's going to be necessary for her to keep these hitters off balance and work on that location to affect the play out of her pitching performance tonight.
Lucero Induced to ground out, so 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 4th for Cypress. Emery, you have a pitching background.
I do.
Pitched at Moore Park for a few years.
I did, and I also was able to cover softball quite extensively when I worked over there as well as a pitcher. And I love being able to see the differences between the two sports. Softball is so aggressive, and that's one of the best things about the sport because it's so fast-paced. And she's doing a great job. I know I keep hitting on Medina. She's doing a great job now in this inning of reestablishing her command, especially in location. She's going up against these hitters pretty aggressively. It's something that I really like to do as a pitcher. It's something that the pitchers at Moore Park really like to do in my time there. They did win the WSC Northern Division back in 2013 and later in 2015. So it was a good a good adjustment for them to have their pitchers continue to attack hitters over and over and over again. And that's exactly what Medina's doing here.
Well, Medina has given up 4. 4 earned, 1 walk, 7 Ks. So the K numbers are pretty impressive.
But most of those came in the first 2 innings when she was in command, and this inning she's gotten ahead of 0-2 to the first 2 hitters and gotten a nice easy pop out and a little ground out.
Yeah.
So
1-1 fouled back, 1-2.
And that's especially important when you have a good screw and a good rise ball, is making sure that you can get hitters really off balance and start trying to drive the ball either into the ground or pop it up, because they start seeing that fastball and they're going, okay, I'm going to be swinging for the gap somewhere in the outfield. And when they get that breaking ball that has the same exact look as a fastball, they're going to be off balance and start doing things like popping it up and grounding it out.
Jesse Gomez, count evened up here, 2-2. Swing and a miss. Sit her down. 8 strikeout on the day for Marissa Medina. We get to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th, 4-3. Cypress, the defending state champs, looking to repeat here in 2018 after a 48-0 run a season ago. Hannah Slate will start things off for the Wolverines here in the bottom of the 4th. As the temperatures continue to dip here in Walnut, California. Happy you've joined us, everyone. Spread the word, www.socalcollegesports.com, and also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. You can catch this broadcast live and all of the remaining broadcasts in their entirety. And also watch archive broadcasts on our YouTube channel, again, SoCal College Sports 1. Going to be Slate, Anderson, and Emily Smith.
It has definitely cooled off.
Off speed, a beauty. And Davalos leave her 2nd K on the day.
She picked a good time to throw that pitch, caught her completely off guard, froze her.
You know, she had not done as good a job as Medina with the off speed and disguising it. And I think that Sierra had really teed off on that up to that point, but a beauty there from Davalos. induces a strikeout to open up the bottom of the fourth for Cypress.
Davila seems to have settled down a little bit. She doesn't seem to mind what happened in the first 2 innings now. She's found her center spot and is ready to go.
Working in a groove here. That pitch fouled back, 1-1. Now, Coach, we talked about McKenna Anderson batting 6th here today. You know, probably the best hitter in the lineup at the disposal for the Wolverines. Do you any notion as to why that is?
Well, there's a couple reasons you put a good hitter back there, because you're trying to protect the girls in front of her, make them have to pitch to them knowing that this girl's behind them.
Right.
And, you know, if they go around and walk those two, then she's going to get better pitches to hit because they've got no place to put her at this point. And also being a lefty slapper, it's not a lot of power usually. It's a lot of small ball.
Well, Anderson with 2 jacks on the year. That's good for 3rd on the team. Only 8 strikeouts, 28 stolen bases. And that one, a rise ball, completely fools Anderson there for the strikeout.
More of a floating change.
It really was. Come and get it.
Threw her the beach ball.
Beach ball 1 out. Usually that's not the case. So Emily Smith now your batter, and she got things heated up in the bottom of the 3rd, a solo shot. Bottom of the 2nd, excuse me. Off speed again, that one low from Davalos, 1-0.
Davila seems to be throwing a lot more off-speed pitches than she did in the early innings.
They seem to be more effective now. I wonder if she's made an adjustment in terms of disguising it. That one hit into left field for a base hit. So Smith is 2 for 2. Here comes Daniela Toshi.
Center fielder number 13, Daniela Toshi.
Toshi takes ball 1.
Interesting leadoff style at first base for Smith. She gets down low, almost touching the ground.
Track style. That pitch fouled off, out of play. Tashi batting .302 coming into the championships. 2nd on the team in home runs on the season with 4. Behind Marissa Medina. And Tony Whipke. Well, I guess 3rd on the team now after the bomb from Whipke.
Whipke started the scoring off here in the 1st inning, but Sierra's kind of settled down since then.
2-1, lifted right center. Tiana Harris puts it away for out number 3, and that will do it for the 4th. And we head to the top of the 5th inning, 4-3, the Chargers with a 1-run lead.
And we head to the top of the fifth, 4-3, Cypress on top of Sierra. Top of the order due up, Sydney McCollum to be followed by Infinity LaFou and Gabrielle Munoz against starting pitcher Amarissa Medina. First pitch, rise ball on the outside corner, no balls and a strike. McCollum 0 for 1 today, struck out and walked in 2 trips. And the two sides playing long ball, Coach, 4 home runs combined.
They've been putting on a clinic for hitting here. At least 4 hitters did.
Yeah.
Although Sierra's had a few other hits as well as their long balls, but
it looked like it was going to be all Sierra early, taking a quick 3-0 lead, but a 4-run outburst in the top of the third, and the Chargers fight back and have the lead as they bat here in the fifth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tails inside, 2 balls and a strike on McCollum.
And I'm sure Cypress would love to see McCollum get heated up and going strong here.
Let me tell you guys, I'm not surprised at the home run numbers based on both these teams. We saw Cypress last year in the championship, and they predicated a lot of their offense based off of the long ball.
McCollum, meanwhile, flies to left as Smith puts it away. 4 out, number 1. Both these teams statistically, Emery, relying on the long ball quite a bit this year?
Absolutely, and Sierra has always been known for that power base, or excuse me, not baseball, softball. Don't want to say that. They, at least this season, they've been known. And last year, I remember very clearly, all the way until the very last playoff game for the championship last year, Cypress did such a good job in making sure that they can utilize every single line drive and home run that they could. The base runners meant damage whenever they were up to the plate.
LaFou, meanwhile, has homered and hit by a pitch in 2 trips. 2 balls, no strikes the count, as Medina electing to work carefully this time. Last time up, LaFou, a 2-run shot that tied the game at 3.
She hit a laser over the left field fence.
I'm going to be honest, all the home runs hit tonight have been absolutely crushed.
Yeah, no doubters, every single one. That one on the inside corner, 2 balls and a strike. Terrific job by Medina on a 2-0 count, locating that pitch.
Medina's continuing to battle out there.
I think both pitchers have showed terrific perseverance, having some struggles at certain points, but I think you got to like the mindset that they know they're up against the opposing offenses that are good and are going to put some runs on the board, and you got to keep battling out there and, not get too wrapped up and, I've given up a couple of runs and letting it get away from you.
Well, I think both pitchers, based on their teams and the seasons they've had, both know that their teams are going to battle all the way through, and it's not over just because you gave up a run here or a run there.
Yep.
Because you're down by 1 run in the top of the 5th doesn't mean you're out of this game yet.
Yep.
And especially, you can tell a good coaching staff by the way that their pitchers react after a tough inning. Because the pitcher's going to go back into the dugout and talk to the coach and go, where am I missing? What am I doing wrong? And they're going to reassess what their game plan is. And both pitchers have definitely done that.
Both coaches have done a good job of getting their pitchers back to where they need to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
2-2 the count on LaFou. In on the hands. Popped on the right side, but playable. So Cummings has it for out number 2. What great location once again to LaFou. In on the hands, and that one just absolutely ate her up on the inside. So 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Munoz, who's fanned twice.
I think Medina got a little too comfortable after the 3-run lead and is now back to trying to dominate this game.
High and outside to Munoz.
You can tell the confidence hasn't left her because she's still attacking inside. And a lot of times pitchers are going to lay off that inside pitch because they don't feel like they're going to be effective with it. And it's definitely scary to try and go inside on some hitters because you know that if they do turn on it, it's going to go a long way.
Munoz came in batting .434 on the season, 36 walks versus just 14 Ks, so quite the feather in the cap of Amarissa Medina that she's been able to strike her out twice in 2 trips. But she's down here, 2 balls and no strikes. Looks in, here's the delivery, and it's on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Medina is still working all zones, trying to get Cypress to swing and miss or just watch it go by him.
7 strikeouts through 4 2/3 for Amarissa Medina.
That's
that
attacking
one
the
fouled
zone.
back to the screen.
That's definitely attacking the zone.
So 2 ball and 2 strike count on Munoz. As the Chargers bat in the top of the 5th.
Although I do have to give Cypress credit, they've stopped swinging at the pitches out of the zone and are now waiting for pitches in the zone to attack.
Yeah, the adjustments that you're talking about that go on all game. Here's the 2-2. And that one's just poked foul. Munoz fights that one off.
Hey, you always have to remember that, you know, softball is a two-sided game in the fact that offenses are going to adapt to the pitcher's plan. And I always like to think of it as in a pitcher's perspective because that's, you know, the mindset that I have where, you know, you're thinking pitchers first. And usually it is in that case anyways because the pitcher has to act in order for the offense to react. And all of a sudden you have to start making adjustments and then the offense will readjust. And the things that is really dangerous about both of these teams is the fact that they have the ability to readjust on the flip of a dime. And you see Cypress right now doing exactly that where they've now adjusted within 1 inning and now into the second inning after Medina has settled down a little bit to realizing that her pitching prowess is predicated on her being able to live on the outside corners.
Another pitch fouled off by Munoz.
And then the thing with a pitcher is you're trying to get them to swing at your pitch.
Absolutely.
And as a hitter, you're trying to get her to throw you your pitch. So, you know, it's not going after her pitch and waiting for her to make a mistake and give you the pitch that you're looking for. And that's one of the hardest things to teach hitters is, you know, they go up there. You know, I've had girls with a 3-0 count, and it's like, why'd you swing at the net? Well, it was going to be a strike. Okay, but was it your pitch?
Yeah.
No. Then why'd you swing?
Yeah.
You're ahead in the count. You got to use common sense sometimes.
The 2-2. High and outside. Count goes full. And
now,
really,
in defense of this level, too, this is some very high-level softball that we're watching tonight. And all throughout this tournament, we're going to watch some very good softball. And that's the best thing about junior college athletics, in my opinion, is the fact that you have the opportunity as a coach to shape a college player's playing style early on so that when they get to that next level, and the goal is obviously to get to that next level, they have the ability to use that at the next school that they're at.
That is true. And at the JC level or community college level, that's the hardest job because you have them for such a short time. You know, high school, you get kid for 4 years. 4-year school, you get them for 4 years.
Line drive into left center, a base hit. This is going to go all the way to the wall. Munoz rounding first. She'll head into second with a 2-out double. What an at-bat for Munoz on the 10th pitch. And you talk, Coach, about getting your pitch, and it looks like she got it on pitch number 10 and didn't miss it.
She kept fouling off Medina's pitches until Medina came and gave her something that she wanted, and she drove it right into the gap to the fence.
Puiloa will be the batter, and in case you wonder about the Charger offense and the clutch factor, consider that 3 of their 4 runs in that 4-run inning came after 2 were out. So Munoz gets a 2-out double, and here comes Puiloa. You wonder if the Chargers can maybe pick up some more runs here after 2 are out. And we'll have a conference quickly.
Got a pinch runner going in at second base.
For Munoz.
Number 7, Rebecca Espinoza.
Okay, so Espinoza will run at second. Now, was that, I mean, nothing appeared to happen to Munoz there. Is that just giving Munoz a little bit of a rest or something before she goes back in the field? I mean, what's the strategy behind doing that?
Might have wanted a little extra speed on the bases in case, you know, try to get that insurance run in. You know, it's always much nicer to go in with a 2-run lead than with a 1-run lead. So, you know, put a little extra speed on the bases and, you know, maybe you get a cheap single into the, you know, a little dunker into just barely into the outfield. You can score from second with a little extra speed.
Yeah, I'm going to say it over and over and over again on this broadcast is the fact that with 2 teams on the field right now who have the ability to hit the ball anywhere at any given moment, it's going to be almost imperative that you get some sort of cushion, because that's going to let your pitcher have a little bit more confidence going out onto this into the circle, thinking she's going to have the ability to possibly give up a base hit and not feel like she's in danger.
Well, when you've seen 4 home runs in 4+ innings, a 1-run lead doesn't feel very safe.
Absolutely not.
Nope. And that's the thing is that, you know, if Cypress can add a run to their lead, that's going to give Davalos a little extra, you know, confidence going back out to finish this game out.
And who knows? I mean, softball is a very weird sport as well as baseball, I'll say that, in the sense that anything can happen at any given time. And all of a sudden you still have 2 outs, but you could continue to tack on more and more runs. And this goes with the argument of, do base runners cause problems? And I would say absolutely they do. And, you know, especially when you have a fast base runner, you have a single, you now have first and third, and then all of a sudden that causes more problems.
That is true, and speed on the bases is always a headache for pitchers and coaches, because, you know, and even players, when you know you've got a fast runner, you try to hurry and do things faster than, you know, maybe you can or should.
Espinoza at second, 2 down. Here's the 1-1 to Pueloa. Popped up on the infield, calling everybody off. It's Slate who will put it away to retire the side. So the Chargers threaten, but come up empty. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Cypress leading 4-3 over Sierra College. It's the 3C2A softball championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
It'll be Julia Cummings in the top of the order, Delosier and Robeo for Sierra. Bottom of the 5th, and the Wolverines trail it by 1 to the defending state champs in the 3C2A, Mike Cepeda, Jesse Steinberg, Matthew Henson, Emily Johnson, Jeff Stoynoff with you on today's broadcast. The entire crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us, everyone. Spread the word, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. Also on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Feel free to subscribe. And got a battle here in the nightcap here, Coach.
Yeah, it looked like Sierra was going to walk away with it, and Cypress came back and took the lead, and now it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
Proving cliches true, never underestimate the heart of a champion, and the Cypress Chargers, no quit in them. They could have easily gone away. Marissa Medina was dealing. And then, as Emery Johnson had alluded to, maybe a little complacent, I'd be more inclined to say that had to do a lot with the adjustments made by the hitters for Cypress. What a throw by McCollum.
She stuck with that play, and, you know, after mishandling the ground ball, she didn't give up on it and stuck with it, picked it up, and gunned it across the infield.
See that one more time as that throw just beats Julia for out number 1. Lexi Delosier batting from the left side, 0 for 2 today. She'll take ball 1.
Bottom of the 5th, the Sierra is starting to run out of outs. They're going to have to make something happen soon.
Swing and a miss. Well, haven't had extra innings yet. I shouldn't have said that.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx us.
I'm looking for the anti-jinxer, Coach.
You know, we had that early game that ended early, and now this one might eat up the time we gave up on that one.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago at Bakersfield. I think we had 2 extra inning games on day 1, and it was just an absolute marathon of a day coverage-wise. That one lifted into left field. This is going to get to the wall, down the line. Delosier will stop at second with the stand-up double.
Now the way the left fielder Ayala played that could be an issue depending upon how many games they've played under the lights, with her trying to read that and not being used to seeing it under the lights, the way she kind of turned herself around.
I want to say that's the 4th double allowed here from Davalos for Cypress.
I believe you are correct on that.
Reading as 3 right now. Of course, she gave up the 2 home runs.
But the question is, can Sierra convert it into a run?
Well, they have person they want on in a good spot, but that one laced right to Tiana Harris in center field. Delosier, heady base running, gets back to the bag. That one hit too sharply there by Rebea.
Tatiana Harris played that perfectly and made a quick throw back into second, almost doubling up Delosier.
Rebea now 2 for 3. Here comes Tony Whipke,
who started the scoring with a 2-run blast earlier.
In the bottom of the 1st, exactly right there, Coach. And got a chance to take the lead here for the Wolverines with 1 swing. But Davalos, as you alluded to earlier, has settled down. Better pitcher than she was when she started the game.
Seems to have more command of her pitches and is hitting her spots much better now.
0-1 off speed is low.
She has kind of a deceptive motion, that little leg kick that she gets out there. It's almost like her leg stutters.
And that one lifted to right. And a great beat on that one for Puailoa as she records the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 5th. They strand Delosier at second. We'll have another look at it here. Tremendous play made by Kiani. That ball was given a ride by Whipke, looking for her 2nd blast on the day. Looking for another extra base hit, but she was denied by Kiani Puailoa. And we head to the 6th, 4-3. Cypress 6 outs away. music by Scott Buckley. Cypress up 4-3 on top of Sierra. Looking to spring the second upset of the day, I believe. First one was El Camino. Through to the winner's bracket with a win over the top-ranked team in the state, College of San Mateo. San Mateo continues their success in reaching the championships in the 3C2A, but their struggles at the championships continue.
Well, a lot of times when you're seeing the best teams, the competition level is so much higher that you can't make as many mistakes as you could during the regular season.
Medina still dealing here. Gabrielle Munoz, your batter. Actually, this is Kelly Ross, excuse me. Ross, Ayala, Harris due up this inning. That one in there for strike two.
Ross battled her last time up and walked away with a double.
Yeah. I believe that was part of the barrage back in the top of the third.
Actually, I believe it was what got it started.
Yeah, I think so. Two now here on Ross. 1 for 2 today. Inside, called strike three.
Throws her with a curveball. Brought the inside curve in.
That's the 9th strikeout today for Amarissa Medina.
Medina settled down after the third inning and has gone back to putting zeros up on the board.
That one chop out. I thought that hit the third baseman, Coach. I thought that hit Slate.
Now, if it was outside the line, I thought it was going to hit the umpire.
If it hits the defender before he goes foul, it's fair. Is that correct?
Well, as long as she's in fair territory. So she has to make contact with it in fair territory.
Okay.
If her glove is across the line and makes contact, it's still foul.
Okay. Learn something new every day. Off speed, that one just high from Medina.
Medina just missed with that pitch. She thought it should have been a strike from her reaction after she got the ball back from the catcher. She wheels right back and goes after her again.
Ayala in a hole, 1 and 2. Crispy night here in Walnut, California on the campus of Mount San Antonio College. The 1-2 swing and a miss.
Got her to chase it up and away.
10th strikeout for Medina. Medina over the century mark. Total pitches on the evening. Trying to keep her team within striking distance. Chargers have worked themselves into a 1-run lead. We are in the top of the 6th.
Medina trying to keep her team to where they have a chance to come back in this game, and she's done a good job since the 4th inning of shutting down Cypress again.
Yeah. Zero margin for error here for Sierra. Very likely Davalos has been terrific since the 3rd inning.
She gave up those 3 early runs and has settled down and has held Sierra to just a couple of hits since.
Yes, a couple of scattered extra base hits, but has done a good job of settling down quickly thereafter. The 1-1 outside. How about Medina's stat line today? 5 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks.
And 1 hit batter.
1 hit batter. Throwing a short seller on that one. 2 home runs allowed, though. 2 doubles.
And the 2 home runs were both bombs. There was no doubt about either one of them.
We're tattooed. Coach, what's the conversation here that we're having?
I think it was just fouled off, and instead of throwing it back, the umpire decided he'd take a little walk because I think it went off of him. give himself a chance to
regroup.
The catcher needed a throw there because I think he got hurt too.
The game within the game.
Now, I've been known, if I see an umpire get hit, I'll kind of walk down there slowly and check on him.
Score some brownie points?
And hey, those guys have a tough job. We're not always nice to them, but
it's very thankless. 2-2. Harris stays alive.
You know, they get hit with stuff. And sometimes you just got to, give them a little love and give them a few seconds to regain themselves.
See if Medina can regain her form. That one popped up. Unable to make a play on it is Tony Whitkey.
I think it caught the top of the net.
I think you're right. A weird ricochet there.
Well, just kind of the way she stopped and just let it drop. Just kind of told me it. Fortunately, our canopy that we're under kind of blocks our view on those.
Also helps us in terms of shielding. That pitch just high. Ooh.
It's another pitch Medina would like to have the umpire give her.
Well, she doesn't get it, the count now full. The 3-2, fouled back.
Medina's still attacking hitters, just not able to put this one away just yet.
Well, Harris batting .331 on the year coming in. 3-2. Another foul back.
Harris battling, fouling pitches off, waiting to see if Medina will give her something she can drive.
Making Medina work, that's for sure. As the pitch count continues to creep up past the century mark, 105 now. 3-2 again, off speed in the dirt, ball 4, and Harris works a 2-out walk. That's a terrific at bat there by Tiana Harris.
That was. Kept fouling pitches off and just was patient and waited till Medina made a mistake. In this case, it was ball 4 in the dirt.
Well, speaking of mistakes, Medina made one to Destiny Lucero earlier in this matchup. Top of the third, Lucero took her deep. And you have to imagine that the conference on the mound, or in the circle rather, is about that very instance. Have to be careful of Lucero's power.
Yep. Can't give in to her. You got to make sure the pitcher throws her pitch, while Lucero's going to be looking, for the pitcher to throw her something she wants. So.
And what is Brad Pickler telling Destiny Lucero here in terms of the adjustment she needs to make?
Well, probably not really giving her any adjustments, just telling her to be patient and not be overly aggressive.
Not press.
And not try to do too much. Just, if she gives you something to handle, drive it somewhere.
Her 5th home run on the year for Lucero, and that one swinging at the first pitch.
I would think, in hindsight, Pickler probably told him hit it on the other side of the line instead. Stop. And he just pointed into fair territory, going, no, that way.
Yeah, here's that way, not at me. Inside the white.
I know I look like a big target out here, but hit it somewhere else.
Snazzy looking jacket there for Coach Bickler. Slow chopper. This could be trouble, and it will be. You knew that was going to be trouble right off the bat, Coach. I don't think that's an error. Oh, that's a tough error ruled against Sierra. I thought that was going to be a tough play to get Lucero.
She kind of hit that off the end of the bat. It had a little squib effect on it. Had some funny spin. Third baseman couldn't quite come up with it. And then the shortstop, who had moved over in between, behind her, kind of ended up overrunning the play.
So first and second now, 2 out. Top of the 6th. This is where we need to have an insurance company come in for the plugs. Yeah.
CCCAA insurance company.
And the 3C2A. And, well, we used to have Bob McCloskey. Haven't heard his name in a few years, but it'd be a perfect time for it. Medina delivers, strike 1. For pinch hitter. Marissa Montez Dieca.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
I don't think I said it right. Apologies, Marissa. It's Montez Dioca. Pinch hitting here.
I'll believe you. I looked at that and I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'll just call her Marissa.
That'll work. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Put her down. 11th strikeout for Marissa Medina. We head to the bottom of the 6th. And Sierra trailing by the slimmest of margins. Marissa Medina leading the team in home runs on the season for the Sierra Wolverines will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Solo shot will tie this ball game up. But easier said than done versus Hope Davalos, who's been terrific as of late.
Although she did give up 2 home runs early, so that ship has not quite sailed yet.
No. The game is not over. Ball 1. What's the adjustment that Davalos has made here, Coach?
She just seems to be more in control of her pitches than she was earlier. And her off-speed's working better. She seems to be hitting the corners more, where before she seemed to be more over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, She wasn't fooling anybody earlier, and now the foolery, I guess, if you will, is in full effect. Very effective.
3 solid frames of good pitching and good pitch sequence, I think, is the best term for it.
And Medina puts one where they ain't. In left field, she's on with a leadoff single in the bottom of the 6th.
And even there, you can look at that situation and go, that wasn't really hard contact. She didn't make great contact on the ball. She's still keeping the hitter off balance. We'll see how Sierra ultimately changes their approach. Obviously, we're talking about how this is going to be a game of who can figure it out first, especially now that the last couple frames, even going as early as the 4th inning or the bottom of the 3rd, have been absolutely dumbfounded, I would say, as the offense have not been able to see anything.
Yeah, Lainey DeMarty going to pinch run for Medina. Get some speed on the bags here for the Wolverines. Nobody out, 1 on.
But a lot of times a hit like that Medina just got changes that.
Yep.
That little cheap hit, something that just kind of floats in, you know, gives everybody some confidence, and now they're scattered in the dugout because we got foul balls getting rocketed in there.
Hannah Slate now batting for Sierra. Fouls off first pitch on 1.
It is very true, especially if you're on the mound or in the circle and someone, you know, we call it shimps are in is the word that we use, is where, you know, somebody's going to be hitting the ball and deking it just over, you know, out of reach, and it doesn't seem like it's a good hit, but it definitely does, like you're saying, Coach, it does give the hitters confidence at the fact that they can make contact with it and put it into play.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised how many times a guy who's struggling gets one of those types of hits, and all of a sudden, you know, he's back on a tear.
Yeah.
So, you know, and same thing with the ladies. It's, you know, you get that cheap hit every now and then, and you start swinging the bat with more confidence and start driving the ball.
1-1 on Slate in there. Called strike 2. 1-2 now on Hannah. Davilo slow in the dirt. Ross bluffs at first towards DeMarty. Lainey DeMarty, a sophomore catcher from Roseville, out of DeLauro High School. Pitch running at first, and that one lifted but foul. That one had a lot of juice to it, but going just left of the foul pole, Hannah Slate.
She was just a little out in front of that pitch, needed to let it travel just a bit further before she went after it.
Now, Coach, I don't want to jinx anything for her, but in your perspective, what usually happens after you hit something like that foul?
Well, it depends on the pitcher.
That's true.
Fastball.
And Davalos went for it, just didn't get it.
Emery, can I see the replay on that? Because that was awfully close. That's inside. Live shot.
Just a bit inside and down on that last pitch.
That one hammered foul.
Just came back up and into Slate on that pitch, and Slate turned on it.
I'm going to rescind my comment because she keeps making hard contact. But what I was going to say is that usually, and this plays true in both baseball and softball, is if you see a guy rope one down the line, and I mean absolutely crushed, 9 times out of 10 they're going to make some sort of iffy contact at the next pitch and ground it either right into the ground, hit it right into the ground, or strike out.
Yep.
Trying to make the adjustment.
But she definitely does not look like she's going to do that.
Well, Davilo seemed to go right after her. She goes to it. Check swing. Did she go? No. Coach, did you think she went? Close?
It was close, but I didn't think she did. But, you know, I've never been known for being in agreement with many umpires. So.
Well, McKenna Anderson now, as far as the numbers go, the best hitter in the lineup for Sierra. She's got 2 on, nobody out. Huge moment here for both teams. Anderson bluffing at it. Anderson, a well-rounded hitter. She's shown an ability to kind of slap at it and get on base, but at the same time, she has some power. She's flashed that throughout the season. She's got a couple home runs. Showing bunt right here. She lays it down. It's
Beautiful.
fair. Anderson gonna be safe. Wild throw into right field. They're gonna wave home two. Sierra takes the lead on an errant throw over to first, and the Wolverines now up 5-4 in the bottom of the sixth.
That triple that she ended up with went about 7 feet in front of home plate. But that's a lot of times when you have a dominant pitcher, just getting the ball in play can make things happen.
And just like that, Sierra shoots out in front, and now they're 3 outs away. They got an insurance run at third, and McKenna Anderson.
And nobody out.
It's a bunt. It's a bunt. Well, not a triple, but she's at third after a bunt. How huge is that?
It's amazing how often that happens.
The 0-1. That is roped into left field for a base hit. Home comes Anderson, 6-4.
And when you think about it, Medina got this inning started with that little dunker into shallow left, and the big hit for him was a bunt that went about 7 feet in front of home plate.
Emily Smith, another RBI. She had a bomb earlier. And now brings home Anderson. Tashi now the batter for the Wolverines, and that'll likely do it for Hope Davalos. Got to save her for tomorrow. 82 pitches on the day. 6 runs allowed, 4 of them earned. 5 innings pitched.
I mean, that last run in, you can kind of blame Davalos for, but the 2 before that, that was a defensive miscue that, you know, I mean, Sierra's given you an out, and you didn't take advantage of it. And you not only did you turn it into 2 runs, you actually turned it into 3 because the runner went to third and scored on the preceding single.
Margin for error very slim here up at the championships, and we see it in full effect here. Pitching change when we come back. SoCalCollegeSports.com's coverage of the 3C2A 2018 Softball Championship. 6-4. The tide has turned in favor of Sierra. They lead at 6-4, the 2 seed from the north. Here in our nightcap, new pitcher Haley Hoffman for Cypress.
Haley looks like she's throwing with some purpose. First pitch was a nice fastball.
Tashi takes strike 1. Smith at first after her RBI single. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 6th, but 3 runs across. 2 of them courtesy of an error.
Tashi trying to move the runner up with a bunt. Just missed it.
0-2, likely won't see her bunting again. Everybody back, swinging away. Tashi puts it into center field. Another hit this inning. That is the 11th hit tonight for the Wolverines.
And just another little dunker into the shallow outfield. Just finding grass.
You know, it's nice you have a lead here. You're 3 outs away, looking for more, nobody out, bottom of the 6th. Get the feeling that Sierra needs at least one more run here to feel or have that sense of comfort.
I'm sure Darcy Brunell would love to have a 3-run lead going into the top of the 7th just to give her pitcher a little extra cushion.
And Marissa Medina has been terrific outside of a disastrous top of the 3rd. A couple got away from her, and she was made to pay.
Yep. And a lot of times that's all it is one inning. You look at, you know, the game 1 today, Olone scored the 1 run in the 1st inning, and then Mount Sac came back in the bottom of the 5th and scored 2, and that was all the scoring in that game.
Yeah, this is a team for Sierra hitting .344 as a team on the season. Got 3 players batting over 400 in Delosier, McKenna Anderson, and Marissa Medina. Anderson and Medina have been the difference in this inning. Large part of why there's 3 up on the board right now. Inning's not over. Possible double play ball here. Throw over to first, not going to get her. That one going to go into the dugout. That's going to cost Sierra a run. It cost Cypress a run, rather. Another error results in another run for Sierra, 7-4.
And that's just Sierra applying pressure, not giving up. You know, the hitter could have said, oh, you know, it's going to be a double play and jogged it out, but she ran hard and forced the shortstop to hurry the throw, and it went wide, and run scores.
Yeah, I believe that was Gomez that made the play on the ball and the throw back over. It gets away from her. And Gabrielle Munoz unable to dig it out. And the run scores.
Sierra's still trying to be the only North representative in the winner's bracket.
Oh, they're in a pretty good position to do so right now. 3-run lead. Still nobody gone. Well, that's not correct. There should be 1 out.
Yep. Because I got the out at 2nd on the play.
That's correct.
Scoreboard's just a little behind.
Delosier fouls that one back, 1-2. Hoffman with a little bit more gas out there, Coach.
Yeah, she seems to have a little more speed to her pitches than Davalos did.
The 1-2. That one into left field. And the onslaught of hits continue here in the bottom of the 6th. The fuse lit by Marissa Medina.
And the problem with sometimes you bring in a faster pitcher and it helps the hitters.
Yeah. Sit down on a bunch of fastballs. Hoffman delivers strike 1. Vergi, Robeo. Double and a single in this one. That one chopped over. Throw over to first in time for out number 2. They finally fixed it on the board. Robeo now 2 for 4. Here comes Tony Whipke.
And for Cypress, I'm not sure this is the person you want to see at the plate with 2 runners on base.
This one could really, I mean, right now you're in a pretty big hole. That hole can become absolutely massive with one swing from Whipke. You saw earlier in this one. And as you said, Coach, you bring in Haley Hoffman, who's got a lot more speed to her pitches. I think that we would both agree on helping the batter. Whipke might up the exit velocity that we saw earlier. Strike 2 in there.
She doesn't seem to have much variation of speed. It all just seems to be hard.
Yeah, she come right at you.
See what she does with an 0-2 pitch.
That one in on the hands, going to go foul. Was that a rise ball that didn't rise fast enough?
Actually, just seemed like an inside fastball that was high, but she tried to bust her in on the hands and didn't let Whitkey get her hands extended, and that's why she got that little flare foul under the right side.
We'll do 0-2 again. There's a rise ball that misses. Whitkey able to lay off. 7-4, 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Wolverines. That one going to be laced foul. 4 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors for Cypress. Look no further than that number right there that will have cost them this game should they go on to lose it.
And they were big errors on the bunt, and then on the throwing error that allowed another run to score.
1-2, right back to the pitcher. Ricochets off of Hoffman. Great play by McCollum to record out number 3. But now the Chargers 3 outs away from heading into the loser's bracket. And Sierra looking to close the show. Here comes Amarissa Medina. Back in a moment. Well, Cypress is going to go on a run here. They have the right person in order to get things started off. Sydney McCollum, top of the order, due up. Infinity Laufu, Gabrielle Munoz, due up this inning. First pitch swinging, McCollum fouls it off, out of play.
Now comes the question, does that 4-run inning help Medina or hurt Medina? You know, does that long sit in the dugout hurt Medina or help her here?
0-1, chopped over to second. Routine play for Delosier. 2 outs away from advancing to the winner's bracket. It doesn't get any easier for the winner of this one as they will play what looked like the best team in the state today in Palomar, the 1 seed from the south. Absolutely dismantled San Joaquin Delta. 8-0 in 5.
Alicia Garcia had pitched a heck of a game for Palomar.
Very impressive is Laufu. Takes ball one.
I think she'd like to go back to her at bat in the third here and repeat that result.
Yeah, McCollum had walked there, and then it was a two-run shot for Laufu. And Medina knows about the power now if she didn't before.
She's trying to make sure she doesn't give her anything in her desired zone, but try to be in the strike zone right around there.
Medina hits Laufu.
It's her second time today.
Second one trying to work Infinity inside. The numbers again impressive for Medina. 6 1/3, 4 earned, 11 Ks, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitch. And here comes Gabrielle Munoz.
With Aufa getting on, that brings the tying run to the on-deck circle.
Medina delivers outside, ball one.
Medina has to attack, but not be overly aggressive and give a pitch in the wrong spot.
Puailoa on deck for the Chargers. 1-0. Strike one in there. A similar schedule tomorrow. The only difference is we'll be broadcasting in simultaneous locations for games 1 and 2. So 4 games in the early 2 in the morning, 11 in the morning, and then 1:30. Tentative start times for game 2. As those are subject to change, that one popped up. Robeo puts that away for out number 2. And Chargers, the defending state champs, down to their final out here in the nightcap.
And tomorrow, the 2 games at Citrus, the winner will advance to come back here tomorrow night, and the winners of the games here in the morning will get to go into the championship games or the semifinals, as it would be, because they'll be.
You have to win 4.
Well, you can't lose 2, and so it's 3 gets you into the championship game with having to win 1 out of 2.
Gotcha. Well, tomorrow's a long one. Then we got 3 on Saturday, and then, of course, Championship Sunday.
Yep.
You can find out all of the information of the tournament. Go to CCCAAsports.org. Mike Robles, Sports Information Director for the California Community College Athletic Association, putting all that together. Of course, shout out to Carlisle Carter, president of the 3C2A, George Matagakis, in attendance here, director of all of the championships.
You guys are on the road up to Fresno next weekend, too.
We are heading up north next Friday. Memorial Day weekend. We've been doing it for the past half decade now. Puailoa chops that one over. She's going to reach. Is that an error, Coach?
Probably will be. It's a ball that should have been played. Went off the first baseman and into dead ball territory. So that's going to put
Puailoa over to second.
And it brings the tying run to the plate.
The Chargers not out of it yet.
Ball took a funny hop.
Kelly Ross, potential tying run. She had a double back in the top of the third, and that scored Puailoa as Cypress took a 4-3 lead, but obviously the script on that has changed. We're now in the top of the 7th. And Sierra up by 3, but Cypress not going down without a fight.
I wouldn't expect anything less from the defending state champions.
Yeah, Brad Bickler. He and his crew, a gritty bunch.
Darcy Brunell made a trip out to talk to Amarissa Medina. See what advice she gave her. And
For Ross earlier, it was her 12th double of the season. She does have 3 home runs to her credit. What a moment that would be if she could launch one out here. She's hacking away, and that was a home run swing here, Coach.
I guess that depends on if you're a Cypress fan or a Sierra fan as to what kind of moment that would be. If you're a Cypress Chargers fan, I'm sure it would be the highlight of the season.
And probably, you know, anybody a fan of the North, you know, everybody in the winner's bracket this far from the South. Off speed, low, 1-1. Ross 1 for 3 with that RBI. Has struck out twice. One. Fastball down the pipe. Ross takes strike 2.
And if Cypress does fall into the loser's bracket, they would play San Joaquin Delta. And based on the way the two teams look tonight, I would have to say Cypress has a distinct advantage in that game. But Delta has been battling back all year, so I wouldn't take anything away from them either.
That one well inside, sold well by Ross. And well, you talked about San Joaquin Delta. We talked about it during that broadcast. 3-7 to open the year, and then they go on an absolute tear, find themselves up here at the fateful 8 at the state championship. But they ran into an absolute buzzsaw in Alicia Garcia. And that one hits Ross and gets away from Medina one more time. 3rd hit batter of the game, and Ross really not happy about it.
And now Sierra's got to be a little concerned because that brings the winning run to home plate.
Vanessa Ayala, left fielder for Cypress, a huge moment for her. Freshman. No home runs, she does have 15 RBIs to her credit. On the day, she is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Coach Pickler, words of encouragement. What's the adjustment you make here, Coach?
Really, once again, it's that same. Oh, we got a substitute pinch runner going in for Ross, number 1 for Cypress. But basically, you're telling your hitter, you know, stay within yourself. Don't try to do too much.
Alexis Riviera running for Ross. That pitch from Medina low. Might not seem by a big deal, but advantage Cypress as Medina is off the mark on her first offering.
Have to see how Medina responds now.
That one down the middle, strike 1.
And that seemed to be a very good response on her part. Now it's going to come down to which team wants this more.
Medina in there, strike 2. Crowd did not like it.
Once again, it depends on which side of the stadium you're sitting on.
Yeah, Cypress fairly local. Just to hop on the 605 over nearby. That one in foul territory.
Deep into the bullpen there. Giving Cypress one more life.
It only takes one.
That is all it takes.
Unfortunately, Cypress down to their final strike here. Medina deals it up, off-speed chopper. This could be trouble. Force out at second. Sierra through to the winner's bracket, and they dispatch the defending state champs here from the winner's bracket, 7-4. gutty performance by both teams. Sierra climbs out to an early 3-0 lead, and then a big top of the third for Cypress as they shoot out in front 4-3. And everything was going pretty well for Hope Davalos, but she ran into a bit of a buzzsaw in the bottom of the sixth, undone by a couple of errors, resulting in 4 runs across in the bottom of the sixth for Sierra. And your final score 7-4. A gutty win in the nightcap here. That'll do it for our coverage here on day one of the 2018 3C2A Softball Championships from Mount San Antonio College. Again, 11 o'clock, 1:30, 4:30, and 7 p.m. tomorrow. We will have simultaneous coverage from Mount Sac and Citrus in the first 2 matchups of the day at 11 and 1:30, and then back here for the rest of the action for games 3 and 4 from Mount San Antonio College. 6 games in total here on SoCal College Sports. Thanks for watching, everybody. For everybody today, for the entire crew, Amory Johnson, Matt Henson, Chase McIntyre, Jeff Stoynoff, Jorge Cepeda, Maggie White, and Jesse Steinberg. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you.